has just received news that the Tamil Nadu Speaker has taken that decision. Pramod was just also telling us the same about the Speaker disqualifying those 19 MLAs who have been backing TTV Dhinakaran. 18 MLAs who were loyal to Dhinakaran have been in fact staying in a resort in Coorg for the longest possible time. So now the Tamil Nadu Speaker finally taking the decision to disqualify those 19 rebel AIADMK MLAs. Akshaya joins us for the very latest. Akshaya, first of all, just tell me, give me a confirmation on the number of MLAs. There are conflicting numbers. How many MLAs are residing in that resort in Coorg?
Avantika, the number still remains, not confirmed, because initially it was 19 MLAs and then one person moved out and one person got in. And as of yesterday, we're getting to know that Sendil Balaji has left the resort in Coorg, which means the number comes down to 18. But additionally, have there been any more MLAs who've gone inside? It's a big question. But the latest information that we are getting right now, the breaking news that we are getting right now, is that the 18 MLAs have been suspended by the Tamil Nadu Speaker, and this is a very serious action, because this means that the number game again becomes a very tricky one. 117 is the required number, and the EPS OPS faction together have only around 115. And with the disqualification of these 18 MLAs, it means that it will be a very tough situation, and we'll have to wait and watch as to what the next action plan will be for them, because TTV Dhinakaran was completely relying on these 18 MLAs to ensure that he has a position in the AIADMK. But with the removal, with the disqualification of these 18, it means that the number on TTV's side has also come down drastically, and it is a advantage point for the DMK right now.
Absolutely.
They've already been pushing for the floor test, and it's only a matter of time before the court comes out with a verdict on that, Avantika.
And a massive blow to TTV Dhinakaran as well, isn't it, Akshay? It was a politically controversial move when the Chief Government Whip, Rajendran, had recommended to the Assembly Speaker to disqualify all of those rebel MLAs, and now that has been done. What does this mean for TTV Dhinakaran, who for the longest time was very confident and determined to topple the present government?
Well, Avantika, even 2 days back, while TTV Dhinakaran was giving a press conference, he was very confident that these 18 MLAs and the few sleeper cells that he was talking about will be the bonus point for him to ensure that the EPS OPS faction pays for the kind of treatment that they've given to TTV and Sashikala. But looking at the scenario right now, with the 18 MLAs gone, what will be the action plan? What will be his next step? Will he be alerting his sleeper cell as he's been talking about? These will be the focus point for us right now. But other than that, we know that TTV has been clearly sidelined, and there's no turning back right now with the 18 MLAs whom he has been keeping in resorts after resorts just to ensure that his support base is intact, have now been completely gone.
Absolutely. Pramod, tell me something. So, if you see on all fronts, EPS, OPS clearly are the ones who now have the control of the party. They're the ones who have the support of the MLAs, and now they have a very strong case to stake claim to the two leaves symbol, and that's probably why a team representing the OPS, EPS combined are rushing to Delhi, because look at TTV Dhinakaran, he seems to be right now pretty much receiving this big blow with the loyal MLAs also being disqualified.
Very much so, Avantika. The issue is that EPS and OPS have got this very beautiful master plan. First, disqualify the MLAs from TTV side. Now, I also have to tell you that 20 MLAs from DMK part are also under the radar, because they brought in Gudka and Pan Masala that is banned into the assembly. So that is the reason DMK went to the court as well. If they disqualify or suspend those MLAs and then go for a floor test, the opposition number would come to 78. And this side they will have almost 99. By this way there will be easy sweep test for easy win for EPS and OPS. Maybe that is a plan right now. But there is also a catch. To get the twin leaf symbol, it is not that easy, because like I told you, 70 lakh affidavits filed with the EC. They have to go through it. They have not yet done it. If they have to file a counter affidavit, TTV Dhinakaran was acclaimed as the leader of AIADMK Purichitalavi Amma faction.
Exactly.
Which means they need his permission as well. So in that way, TTV still has one trump card with the court. And he's still following that one only, Avantika.
No, and it was a bit of fight at that time as well, Pramod. There was an intense competition between EPS and OPS at that point, both wanting to stake claim to the two leaves election symbol, isn't it? And both filing those innumerable affidavits in the Election Commission's office.
So true, Avantika. You can never predict which way this political wind would blow. For instance, 20 days back, OPS wanted to conduct a protest in Chennai claiming that EPS government is corrupt. And right now you see him becoming the Deputy Chief Minister. He's no longer speaking about it. He's very happy celebrating MGR's centenary birthday with Chief Minister EPS. There is no more word of corruption. It seems like all corruption in Tamil Nadu has vanished. But right now it is TTV Dhinakaran who's speaking about corruption. In fact, yesterday he claimed that EPS is associated with Sekhar Reddy, and not just EPS, even his many relatives are associated with Sekhar Reddy.
Here with me, consulting editor India Today, T.S. Sudhir also joins us for more. So Sudhir, there's just so much that's been happening since morning. The disqualification of those rebel MLAs, both the factions, at one point who had raced to file the affidavits before the EC to wrest control of the AIADMK and the two-leaf symbol, now coming together and jointly wanting the prized party's symbol. What can we expect now?
Absolutely. In fact, what we are seeing are step-by-step decisions being taken to marginalize TTV Dhinakaran, who has for almost a month now been threatening that he has enough sleeper cells that will destabilize the Edappadi Palaniswamy government, and that is the last thing that the ruling AIADMK wants. So what we are seeing taking place in Tamil Nadu now is that if Shashikala's expulsion was part one, today's development is really part two of the entire process to ensure that TTV Dhinakaran is completely marginalized. He has had to shift his MLAs first from Puducherry, then to Coorg in Karnataka, and essentially his strength also reducing. People not very sure whether he will really have the numbers in case if a trust vote is ordered on the floor of the Tamil Nadu Assembly.
Yes.
And should that happen, even the DMK will be in two minds whether moving a trust, no confidence motion will really make sense if the ruling AIADMK is going to be able to manage the numbers.
Absolutely. But Sudhir, what about those 19 MLAs? There were also reports that, unconfirmed reports, that they are reportedly being persuaded, coaxed to join the EPS, OPS combined. And if that happens, then that's another major setback for TTV Dhinakaran.
Oh yes, in fact, probably the mistake that TTV Dhinakaran made was to kind of lay his cards on the table. The fact that the 19 MLAs went to the governor saying that they do not have faith in the leadership of Edappadi Palaniswamy essentially revealed that they are the rebels out in the open, and that kind of ensured that they could actually be targeted in a very specific manner by the ruling combine of both Edappadi Palaniswamy and O. Paneerselvam. And that is precisely what has happened, because many of them loyalists of the of Shashikala, of Jayalalitha, and some of them have been kind of persuaded that should a trust vote happen, TTV Dhinakaran could himself be in for an unpleasant shock. So a state of confusion, as Prabhu Madhav was pointing out, prevailing in Tamil Nadu, where really no one knows who is in complete control of the state of affairs in the state.
No, so tell me something, Sudhir, that while both the EPS, OPS, faction are staking claim for the two-leaf symbol, and now with the disqualification of the 19 MLAs, where does TTV Dhinakaran stand in all of this? I mean, all this while I had been noticing that he maintained a very cool and a calm composure while speaking to the reporters. But when both the sides take claim and had that general council meeting, we saw a very ruffled and rattled TTV Dhinakaran, clearly, very bitter with the turn of events that have happened against him.
Oh yes, in fact, TTV Dhinakaran is really fighting with his back to the wall, and he realizes that pretty much. And it is not just about TTV Dhinakaran, it's also about the clout and the power that the Mannargudi family has wielded in Tamil Nadu for years,
yes,
especially during the Jayalalitha regime. If TTV Dhinakaran actually loses this battle, the Mannargudi family's influence over Tamil Nadu politics, especially over the affairs of the AIADMK, would be significantly marginalized. So for all of them, all the members of the family, Mannargudi family, this is a war, this is a battle that they must win significantly. The fact that if the AIADMK, 19 MLAs of the AIADMK get disqualified by the Speaker Dhanapal, it will also mean that the courts will now step in, because what this will be almost very similar to what happened in Karnataka in 2010, when 16 rebel MLAs, 11 of them belonging to the BJP, had also rebelled against the then Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, and even at that time, they also wanted anyone else from the BJP to be made Chief Minister but B.S. Yediyurappa. The situation in Tamil Nadu is also pretty much significant, where the TTV
But in a way, Sudhir, the courts have stepped in, isn't it? With the Madras High Court directing the Election Commission to decide before the 31st of October on the two-leaf symbol. And now that the theatre of the battle for this particular symbol has shifted to Delhi, all the focus will be on that decision taken by the EC, isn't it?
Well, yes, the Election Commission's decision is going to be extremely important because that's what the battle is all about. Because they would want to retrieve the two-leaf symbol at any cost. Because for whether it's for Edappadi Palaniswamy or Paneerselvam, the two-leaf symbol is going to be of utmost importance because that's what the rural poor in rural countryside of Tamil Nadu essentially associate MGR and Jayalalitha's legacy with, the symbol of the two-leaf. So it's very important for the ruling AIADMK to get that symbol, and only if they are able to present a united face to the Election Commission, withdrawing the earlier affidavits which are filed by Paneerselvam, that the Election Commission would be willing to give the symbol to the ruling AIADMK.
All right, just stay on with me, Sudhir. Let me also check if Akshaya is with us. And Akshaya, any confirmation about the reports coming in of those MLAs, those rebel MLAs being persuaded to break away from the TTV camp and join hands with Edappadi K Palaniswamy and the Deputy Chief Minister O Paneerselvam? Pramod, do you have any news about those 19 MLAs, those 18 or 19 odd MLAs who have been residing in a resort in Coorg?
Avantika, it seems to be like those 17 MLAs could not be persuaded anyway. That is the reason I believe that Speaker has taken this decision to disqualify them as per the list we got it from Secretariat. But I would simply say like this is not the right move because earlier we spoke to people from TTV Dhinakaran's faction and it seems like more trouble are going to brew for Chief Minister EPS because the last option, they have come to the last option right now. If a portion of MLAs from the Secretariat, the Assembly resign, which means the Assembly have to be dissolved. That was the trump card TTV Dhinakaran was holding for now, but still he didn't want to use it. Right now it seems like DMK is going to go for it. That is the development I hear from DMK side right now, because if they disqualify these 19 MLAs, the next step is going to suspend or disqualify 20 MLAs from DMK portion as well. If that occurs, EPS will win this floor test. But what if those MLAs, a portion of the MLAs from Assembly resign themselves? That point, the majority will be lost and entire Assembly has to be dissolved. Okay. That is what it seems to be the last option over here, Avantika.
All right, just stay on with me. Lots of political reactions also. We have Mr. Sarvanan who's joining us now on the broadcast from the DMK. Sir, good morning. Thanks so much. Lots of inputs and news coming in with the Tamil Nadu Speaker finally deciding to disqualify those rebel MLAs who have been staying for the longest possible time at a resort in Coorg. And, you know, the move coming in on a recommendation that was made by the Chief Government Whip. S. Rajendran, your reactions?
I think this is a clearly illegal order. It is not going to stand the scrutiny of judicial review. Because earlier in similar circumstances, in Yediyurappa's case in 2010, the Supreme Court, a similar situation. Similarly, those MLAs also gave a letter to the governor saying that they don't have trust in the Chief Minister. It was set aside by the Supreme Court. That is the standard. So this order, just to gain some time, they think that by disqualifying these MLAs, there won't be a floor test and there is not going to be the show of strength, and they think they can prolong this government by a few more days or a few more weeks. That is what the odds can do. And we should also take into account the fact that the High Court of Madras is already seized of the matter and it has granted a stay. We complained on the last occasion, we complained exactly about a similar situation. We said the Speaker is going to disqualify these MLAs at 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and at 10:30 is going to call for a floor test. That is why we obtained a stay. The High Court found merit in our arguments and said, yes, no more floor test till Wednesday.
All right, we'll have to leave it at that. Mr. A. Sarvanan, thank you so much for joining us. Pramod, thanks so much for getting us all the details and updates, and also T.S. Sudhir and Akshaya for getting us the latest on this breaking news of the Speaker of Tamil Nadu finally deciding to disqualify those rebel MLAs who had pledged their loyalties, their allegiance to TTV Dhinakaran.